Welcome in, folks, to another senior salute here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components. I'm Matt Hildebrand, your host, as we welcome in the seniors from Manchester High School. We have our valedictorian and salutatorian in with us today, as well as Principal Tim Davis joining us here. Folks, welcome in. Thanks for joining us on C103 and Good Guys. Tim, we're going to start with you. Just a little about yourself. I know you're a longtime educator. You've been principal at a couple of different schools throughout the Adams County area with Manchester for a few years now.
Yes, this is my 7th year at Manchester.
Put you on the spot right off.
Yeah, spent 4 years as a junior high science teacher and track and cross country coach.
Yeah,
even had these young ladies in class, and I've been at People's High School and West Union High School and West Union Elementary, so I've been doing it a few years.
That's good. Yeah. Before we introduce our two young ladies joining us, talk about that dynamic. That's kind of interesting. Not many principals, have spent time in the classroom with a class and then they graduate out. If once you're an administrator, you kind of stay as an administrator.
Yeah, I was at Adams County for several years as a elementary and high school administrator, and kind of looked at a career change and took a break and went into college administration at Shawnee State University for a couple of years. And I spent 9 hours a day in an office by myself. And after about a year and a half of that, I realized, wow, I really miss kids.
Yeah.
And, liked having them around. So there was an opportunity at Manchester to go back and teach, which I really looked forward to, and ended up teaching for 4 years in 7th and 8th grade science and coaching cross country and track, and really enjoyed it. Had a ball. Got to have these two young ladies in class. Got to coach Maddie in track, and just had a lot of fun. And administrative position opened up, and they kind of twisted my arm to take it, and they couldn't lie to me and tell me, it was all going to be rainbows,
right,
and unicorns.
You've done this before.
I've done this before, and I took it, and I don't regret the decision a bit. I've enjoyed being administrator at Manchester High School just as much as I enjoyed teaching there. And it's kind of neat because you get especially with these kids, and I've got one more class I had in the classroom. You have that more closer relationship with them because you were together every day,
right?
For 2 years, and you get a lot closer to them and know them a lot better, and it's you miss them a little bit more when they graduate that way, because you spend a lot more time with them a lot of times than most administrators spend with their kids. And junior high is a fun age. My wife told me I enjoyed it so much because I'm relatively the same mental age as they are. I don't know whether that was a compliment or what it was, but hey, it worked.
You're youthful. We'll just say
it worked. It worked for me. So that's all I'm concerned about.
Good deal. Well, I do think that does make it a special thing to have had, as you said, that closeness with the kids and to see class, especially not just teaching, but having the opportunity to coach in there as well. So we're going to introduce our young ladies. JC, we'll start with you. Introduce yourself and a few different things that you've taken part in with Manchester High School.
Hi, I'm JC Farley. I'm valedictorian, and I was involved in Beta Club, National Honor Society, Art Club, National Art Honor Society, Spanish Club, and National Spanish Honor Society. And then I also did cheer and volleyball for 4 years too.
Fantastic. So to put you on the spot and ask you to list out all of those things, it's things you've done for 4, 5, 6 years now. But it's a lot when you just have to sit down and list them out. So there's a few different things in there that Manchester does that we haven't really talked with a lot of schools yet. There was an National Art Honor Society, right?
Yeah. So
what does that entail exactly?
Well, you can take your art projects to beta, which I know this isn't about beta, but for example, I made quilts and stuff, so I would take that to beta convention. So it's some of those kind of go hand in hand.
Okay.
And there was also a day you took your art somewhere, the art place where you can take your art there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So there's an art show.
County Arts Festival. Yeah.
Yes. So
cool.
something like that.
That's cool. So and then of course, Spanish on top of that.
Yeah.
So how many years of Spanish have you taken at this point?
But not counting junior high, we did 3.
Okay, so you've had junior high and high school.
Yeah, but 3 in high school.
So how fluent are you at this point? You pretty confident?
Not like
No?
too much, but the basics, yes. And our Spanish teacher was really good, so.
Good.
Yes.
Good. All
Yeah,
right.
it was
well,
good.
glad you've enjoyed the time. If you take a trip to Mexico, you'll at least not get lost.
Yeah, I can say some stuff.
Spanish-speaking country,
Yeah,
you're
I can
good.
do a little
They're
bit.
pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
walk in the classroom, they're conversing in Spanish.
Really?
I'm always worried they're talking about me, and I have no idea what
You
they're
know,
saying.
there's a possibility.
Yeah.
And then Maddie, let's introduce yourself.
I'm Madison Dunn. I am the salutatorian of the graduating class. I did Beta, National Honor Society, Spanish Club, National Spanish Honor Society, Art Club, and National Art Honor Society, as well as my senior year I did track, cheer, and volleyball.
That's awesome. So you mentioned national art, national Spanish. So what does it take to be on the? Is there a difference between like national level of taking part in that, or is it similar to what we talked about with?
It's similar to what she said, but once you hit sophomore year, you can get into just normal National Honor Society, and after you get into that club, then you're able to get into the other clubs. So
Okay.
it's more of like you stay in the clubs for longer because your sophomore year is when those clubs open up to get into.
So with all of those, volunteerism is a huge part of that. So talk to us a little about some of the volunteer opportunities you've had through your high school career.
Mostly for Beta is like when we will volunteer and stuff like that. Like there was one time where we've cleaned up the school. Like outside we had to go pick up like trash and things like that. And then this year we did a thing where we collected bottle caps and things like that to make, I'm pretty sure it was a bench.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then
That's
there
cool.
was also this year JC and I together we worked the library for about 2 months in the school.
Oh, wow.
Whenever we would come in at like 8 and then open it up and then run it for the school day.
So you're just working a full-time job as a librarian on the side.
Yeah, for nice Beta hours.
Well, our regular librarian, Mrs. Applegate, we were in a big bind for a language arts teacher, so she filled in, and then that meant our library couldn't be open.
Sure.
So these young ladies stepped up and ran the library.
That's
So
awesome.
it was, yeah, I mean, it was a great thing. A lot of students got the services of the library that wouldn't have if they hadn't stepped up and done it. So.
Now, at Manchester, you guys are one of the smaller schools in the area. Let's talk about the graduating class. What's the number size
Well,
for
we're
this
pretty
year?
we're pretty big this year. We've
Okay,
got
good.
61. We've had in the 40s the last couple of years.
Okay.
So we're I'm gonna have to use some math skills to get the array of chairs laid out so everybody can see everyone when we have commencement on Saturday. But that's a good thing.
Absolutely. So 61. Now, girls, challenge for you. If someone laid the class picture out in front of you, do you think you could name all other 60 people in that photo?
Yeah.
You think
I
so?
think maybe not 5.
There's a few,
There's
I
a
don't
few,
think.
but I
'Cause we don't
think
really go to the
mostly.
school a lot.
Yeah.
So there's a few we probably wouldn't know, but most,
Mostly, I
yes.
think,
Yeah.
Most of them are newcomers. I mean, the
Yeah,
ones they were in
some of the newcomers.
elementary and junior high with, they would know.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you said you're not normally at the school building, so I'm guessing you guys are doing like college credit?
Yes.
Yes.
So talk to us a little about that, JC, through your what, junior and senior high school year?
Yeah, so junior year, I went to Southern State at Mount Orb, and I took biology there with Amy Gardner. And then senior year, we did a speech class, and then we do an anatomy also with Amy Gardner.
Okay.
And then also online classes, but that's what I took there.
Okay, so like very science focused then in
Yes.
person. You got lab hours and everything?
Well, yeah, there's
Yeah.
labs, yes, yeah.
And-
it's part of
and-
the class.
Speech class, most people terrified to speak. I
Yes.
don't think that's quite the case for you from knowing you. So was it nerve wracking or no?
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking. I mean, I got through it, but it was a little nerve-wracking. But
Okay.
it worked out fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Maddie, what about for you? College classes, taking the opportunity to get some of those credit hours out of the way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I started the summer after my freshman year taking online
wow.
classes, so I wanted to start early. And then this summer I'll get to graduate with my associate's degree
wow.
early, so I can
That's
go into
awesome.
college already like with my junior hours, so I can start as a junior. But yeah, we took most of the same classes in person, and then I took math online and like a bunch of different things just to get not the easy ones, but the easier ones out of the way. before
Yeah,
I
some
go
of
to
those
college.
prerequisites,
Yeah,
right? Stuff you
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
have. So, what's it mean to you to graduate high school and then a few weeks later, once you finish up your summer classes, you're gonna kind of graduate that first stage
Mm-hmm.
of college?
Yeah, it means a lot to me. My brother and sister did the same thing, so my parents have really helped support with those type of ideals, I guess, trying to get it done quickly. And then also, it'll help me get out of college quicker to be able to get a job.
That's
faster,
awesome.
so.
Well, big congrats. I know that's a lot of hard work.
you.
JC, how do you juggle out, like you mentioned, you've got 4 or 5 different organizations you're a part of. You've got multiple sports you're involved in. How do you balance, especially cheerleading? And on top of that, cheerleading is now kind of a 12-month sport. Balancing schoolwork, athletics, just being a kid at some point.
Yeah, for the sports part, it wasn't really bad because, like, our coaches know what we're all involved in. So, like, cheer would be right after school, volleyball would be right after school, and then cheer would be, like, hours later in the evening. So, for that, they spaced it out so that they knew it wasn't overlapping. And then for school, I just got it done on my own time. I hated waiting until the weekends for schoolwork personally, so I would just force myself to get it done during the week whenever I was at home because I only go to Manchester for one class.
Oh, wow.
So, the other time during the day, I just get my schoolwork done. So, it wasn't awful because I had the time during the week to get it done.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, still, though.
Yeah. Gotta give myself credit, yes. But you can make it work. It's manageable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same for you, Maddie. Was it easy or difficult spanning everything out?
It's not necessarily easy, but I definitely had good, like, able time to manage it, I guess. For me, it's more like track was the main thing that I was trying to do because I wouldn't do it in college.
Yeah.
So, I would have track practice every day. Like after volleyball practice, I would go down to the track. And then if we had cheer later, then I'd go to cheer. So it's like those sort of things. Schoolwork is definitely more manageable than people would think doing college classes. It's not crazy hard because you have a whole calendar set out in front of you for like the whole month of what you have to do. So you just have to be able to do it on time and hit the deadlines.
Got to talk track with you. Like obviously right in the middle of the season right now. From what I've seen, you're doing extremely well. Have won a couple of the more recent meets. You're running short distances?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what, 100, 200?
And 400.
And 400. So now 400 is not that short.
It's not that short. It's the longest sprint you can do.
Yeah. So which of those 3, if you had to pick one, would you focus in on?
I would think I have to say the 400.
Okay.
Because for me, it's the most fun because it's kind of not like a joke with me and my friends and like the track team, but like the gaps that I can see in the races is what like makes it better. And plus getting the records and those things really help with like how I feel about my own what is it like? Just me getting better in general. Just being able to see the times cut down.
Right.
Yeah. Is the best for me.
Track is one of those interesting things where, yes, you are competing against a field, right? But you're also competing to like get your own best time.
Yeah.
So let's talk your most recent PR. When did that happen?
My most recent PR was at our home meet, actually, our last meet. It was a 59.28 in the 400.
Man, that's awesome.
And then when I did that, I also broke my own record because our first meet, I broke all 3 records in that.
At the school, like the school record.
The school records,
Manchester all time.
I broke
pretty
the 1,
impressive.
the 2, and the 4 on the first meet in. And then I hit kind of like a plateau where I just couldn't get any faster. And then I really dialed in on my training for the last 2 weeks. And then I got that 59, and I just really wanted to get it sub a minute because that was my goal for the outdoor season. So yeah, it was really good, especially to get it at home, like at our track. It was really great.
So like, let's talk reaching that sub 1 minute for a 400, right? That is a huge thing. That's a really great time.
Thank you.
Congrats to you. So how does one train for that repeatedly without getting completely gassed?
You can definitely, I feel, get burned out because I've been training for track since the end of last year's track season.
Right.
So I told my dad, I was like, I really want to do track in college. And he's like, okay. So we dialed in and he's pushed me. He took 2 coaching positions so that he could be with me and help through this whole thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
He like didn't create like indoor Manchester track, but he like helped it happen because he became the coach for that. And then for me, it's more having support from my family and just being able to see myself grow. Because if I didn't get better, then I wouldn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to just want to do better when nothing's happening. But training for it, you can definitely get tired for sure. Like there's days where I'm like, I really don't want to go like lift or run or anything like that, but I know I have to because I want to be better. And when I go to college, I know I'm not going to have the same support because I'll be further away.
Right.
But yeah, it just just all those different things together makes me want to get better.
Now, you mentioned indoor, which I think, fantastic. I know there's a group of you guys that have really pushed and gone to do a lot of indoor track meets. Is there a huge difference in like the actual prep and competition for indoor track versus outdoor track within the sprinting world?
Yes, for sure. For me, it's mainly competition wise. Because at the meets that we've had, I've placed first every time except once. I got second once so far in the outdoor season, but indoor, it's way different because you're with like higher level schools. Like there's a lot of D1 schools that I ran against.
Oh wow!
But so the level of competition there was wild. And then when I went to state because I went to state in all three of my events in indoor. So that was really cool, especially for doing indoor for the first time ever. It was really amazing. But then even just seeing that level of competition was really cool because there's no districts or regionals in indoor either. It's just state.
Right.
So yeah, just the competition level was wild, but the preparation is a little bit different because you can't run outside on a track. So we just had to use like the treadmill at our MEAC. Oh. But it worked out. It worked out well. So yeah.
Now does that get? I know most runners like the idea of running on a treadmill is just dreadful. So,
especially for sprinting. Yeah. Because there's it can only go to a certain max speed. So anytime I was on
you're
the
outstripping the treadmill at this point?
I'm like on top of the bar in the front. Like, so I have to run on that for like 60 seconds. And in the beginning, there's just nowhere to pace yourself. You just have to run the full time, I guess. Right. And then there's also a lot of like lifting that goes into it. But I love training. Like training is like one of my passions. So it's really good that I enjoy it because it's like a huge part of my life now.
That's awesome. Well, JC, we'll swing over to you talking a little volleyball. Obviously, that has kind of, come and gone for you your senior year. Any like bittersweetness to that? Or were you like, by the time senior year wrapped up, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm good. I had a fun time with volleyball.
Yeah. Our senior season got better towards the end. Our schedule kind of got away from like North Adams teams and got a little easier teams, I guess. So we got more wins, so it got better.
I think everybody struggles against North Adams. Don't feel bad.
Shout out North Adams. But but like talking about it being over, I'm glad I did it. No regrets, but I'm okay that it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So what positions did you play in volleyball?
This past year I did right side.
Okay.
Yes, and sometimes all the way around too.
And you're a taller young lady.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of ish. Mm-hmm. So for you, are you blocking? Are you going up for the kills? Like
not blocking. No? I got some kills, yeah, or I would just like push it over, but yeah. And then back row, serving, all of that.
So talk to us about that feeling like getting a service ace, right? Knowing you like perfectly hit it right in the spot you aimed to. What does that feel like for you?
It's nice, yeah. It's a good feeling, especially when all the team gets hype, when we would do like our chants or whatever. Yeah, that would make it more fun.
So team chemistry, I think most team sports that's a really really big thing, but volleyball especially. Yeah. Because you really have to depend on each person to do their job. So talk a little about building that up and kind of you're getting to do it with your friends, so I'm sure that helps some.
Our team chemistry was fine. It was good.
That sounds a very politically correct way to say.
It was fine. Okay. We got through the season.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, let's talk where there I know is a lot more team chemistry in cheer. Yeah. Right. Obviously, you guys have done really, really well. I'm not gonna even fathom to try and go through.
I know.
I'm sure you guys can do the accomplishments. How many different cheer comps have you won through your high school career?
Well, if we start from junior high, I know 7th grade we got all wins. 8th grade we got all wins. And then freshman year we got all wins. So we had a great start. Sophomore year we kind of went downhill a little bit. Not necessarily downhill. But yeah, we didn't get as many wins.
When you're winning just straight through, you kind of expect to win the rest of the way, right?
Yeah. So sophomore year we won, I think like one competition, but it wasn't the greatest. Junior year we bounced back. I think we got 2 or 3 first place. It's kind of hard to remember all of them. And then senior year we won 3. Okay. So we overall from our career in cheer, very good. Yeah. Very successful, I would say.
I would say that's pretty good. Not everybody wins.
We had good teams. Yeah.
So within that, I know both of you competed pretty heavily with cheer. JC, we'll start with you. Again, kind of position, some of the things that you did. Tumbling, base, flyer, where were you at?
Yeah, so I did tumble some. I did a back handspring, round up back handspring. I don't know if
Okay.
everyone knows what that is.
Well, you'll have to explain it to us because
it's-
I've seen plenty of cheer, but some folks haven't.
Yeah, so you do a little run, you do a round off.
You've got the motions with it. Okay.
I don't really know how to explain a round off. And then a back handspring, you just kind of go backwards on
Lean
your
back.
hands.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I feel like I could absolutely do one. Now
yeah,
from
there
that
you go.
example.
That's the tutorial.
Good.
And then for stunting wise, I based my senior year. Our flyer did get hurt, or I think like 2 of them when we tried, but I did base a few other of the stunts. So I was
Okay.
a base my
So,
senior year.
Explain to folks what being a base is, because that is a really unsung hero in the cheer world of like literally lifting another young lady above your head
Mm-hmm.
and them having the trust that you're going to keep them up there and not drop them.
Yeah, so me basing, I'm on the side of a stunt if it's facing forward, and then I have the flyer's foot, which is the girl you're lifting up on top. Have her foot. I mean, there's different ways you can do it, and then you have her in the air. So I'm lifting a girl in the air, but I have help. I have another base because there's 2 bases.
Okay.
Yes.
But I mean, still,
Yeah.
you're lifting someone else literally above your head.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's tough stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Good on. Explain to folks the difficulty. I mean, you guys, again, Manchester competed at a really high level. Sometimes you'll set a base and that's that, right? You do is it a build, right? Or
We call it like a stunt, but you can call
stunt,
it
a
yeah.
lift, whatever.
Yeah, any of those. work.
And you might stay in a stationary position. You guys have done that and literally moved around with people.
Yeah,
That's tough.
it can be a lot. Yeah. Shout out to cheer.
Shout out to
People don't
cheer.
give it credit, but yeah, we had a good team.
Cheer is a real sport.
I would say so.
Okay.
Yes, I don't think people want to admit it, but there's more to it than people think.
Now,
yeah.
I know Davis thinks it's a real sport. So.
I had 3
It
daughters
is.
at
Yeah,
cheer,
he
so
absolutely
I don't even go
believes
there.
it.
Yeah.
Maddie, what about for you? Cheerleading, good experience.
Great experience.
Yeah.
This year I was the captain on the cheer team, and I really liked being able to like say like 1, 2 and stuff before the cheer
Yeah.
started. That might be like kind of odd to say, but I really like starting everything.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
was
on your time at that point,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. I was a main base, so like basically what she said, like in the lib, like where you like have the feet and everything like that. I had a really great stunt group. I really loved my stunt group every single year from freshman to senior year. I feel like I got really lucky
Yeah.
with my stunt groups. I also tumble.
Well, I got to pause you there and give you big props. For anybody who ever went to any of the cheer comps or a Manchester basketball game, talk about the feeling of you sprinting down the court. You'll do, round off into a couple of backhand springs, and then you do a layout?
Yes,
right? So you
layout,
do a
yeah.
layout to finish it off. And your layout, you go perfectly straight. And I'm pretty sure your head, if you could just take a copy of you, your head would be on top of your head, like
Yeah.
upside down. So how do you get that much lift?
It's a lot of, well, I'm putting everything back to track, but not really. But the way I've trained for track, like I do a lot of like deadlifts and like lifting like with my legs.
Yeah.
So that makes me stronger for cheer to like lift people in the air, and then let alone like throwing myself in the air.
Right.
But on the basketball floor, it's also kind of a little bit easier because it's like it feels a little bit springier. That probably doesn't make sense because it's like wooden floor.
Right.
But
No, it doesn't make sense.
no, it doesn't make sense, but I can feel it. Trust me. But I love doing it. I love tumbling in front of everyone, and then I also love when like after games people are like, "Oh my gosh, you were so high in the air."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, great," because to me it doesn't feel any different than it used to like 3 years ago. Because I've been tumbling since I was like 6, so I've been doing this like for a long time because like my mom put me into tumbling. So I've always loved tumbling too. It's always been like a great thing for me to do. But yeah.
How long have you been able to do the layout?
The layout. A while, maybe like at least since freshman year.
Man.
But like before that, it was like tucks and then handsprings and stuff like that.
So at that point, you're just you go from learning a skill to perfecting a skill, right?
Yes.
So you feel like you perfected it at this point.
I think I've perfected the layout.
I
I
think
would
you
say. I think I have.
That's awesome. Well, a big congrats to you, young ladies, on a
Thank you.
great cheer career and everything behind you. So, with that, folks, it's going to bring us to our first break here on our senior salute. Again, thanks for joining us here, C103 Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components. We'll be back to continue our conversation right after this.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxter Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Better Tractor.
Don't let a blown tire slow you down this season. Trust Magulac Tire Service in Hillsboro to keep you on the roll and in the field. At Magulac, they offer on-the-farm ag and tire service, saving you downtime and saving you money. Call Magulac Tire Service for all your tire needs at 937-364-2592 or stop in on Route 50 in Hillsboro. At Magulac Tire Service, their emphasis is on great service. That's more than just a slogan, that's the Magulac commitment every single day. Your Ohio Means Jobs centers in Georgetown and Winchester provide the tools you need for your job search. Eligible residents of Adams and Brown counties may qualify for additional supportive services. Visit Ohio Means Jobs online at omjadamsbrown.org to learn more. Ohio Means Jobs is a division of ABCAP. You must meet eligibility requirements. Funding provided by TANF and WIOA and is administered by the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services. When you're trying to find the best deal on a home or car, you shop around. When it comes to finding the best deal for insuring those things, it just makes sense to shop around too. That's why Column Insurance works as an independent agency. One agency, multiple carriers, allowing your agent to shop for the company that best fits your needs and budget. Column Insurance works with Nationwide and Nationwide Agribusiness, Travelers, Progressive, and more. Stop by Column Insurance in Georgetown to speak to their friendly agents, Jay, Carolyn, or Stacy, or call 378-6947 for a free quote today. Adams County Self Storage knows that there's plenty of different reasons you may be looking for a little extra room to put things. Your college-age kid comes home for the summer and brings along their new ping pong table. You finally decided to take down the decorations after celebrating Christmas in July, or maybe you're still holding on to all those Thai beanie babies that are definitely going to be worth something someday. Whatever your needs, Adams County Self Storage has got you covered. They've got units ready to rent at their West Indian location right behind the Grandview Outlet. Call 937-892-0016. That's 892-0016.
Where can you get good neighbor service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm. Because State Farm agent Tony Staggs is your one-stop shop in Adams and Brown County for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Tony Staggs is ready to help. Call 937-544-0922 for surprisingly great rates today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your plan is ready. It's time to build. At CMT Components, we design and manufacture quality building materials for your custom job. If you need metal panels and trim, trusses, or even a complete pole barn package, we do it all, including delivering right to your job site. To get started, call us at 937-446-3400. You can also check us out online or stop by our office in Sardinia, Ohio to discuss your plans today. Let's get building.
C103, 99.5 The Edge, and Good Guys Radio TV are your source for everything local. From Shack Basketball
Shot by Osborne, three on the buzzer! Wow.
to Shack Baseball,
Wells is going to try. He makes it. He's safe.
Western Brown Football,
Throws it towards the end zone, and it's complete.
to Shack Volleyball,
Hatton for the kill, it's good.
local fairs, festivals, and more.
Ire to the finish line.
Crosses the line to get the victory.
Never miss a moment with C103, 99.5 The Edge, and Good Guys Radio TV. Welcome back in, folks, to our Senior Salute show here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components. I'm Matt Hildebrand, your host today, joined by Manchester High School. Guys, thanks again for coming in, talking with us a little about your high school careers, your experiences, gearing up for graduation. Ladies, I'm sure you both are very, very ready for it at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like literally counting down that. I mean, you guys really have it pretty good. You've got, I think, the earliest graduation out of the entire shack. So
Yeah.
that's nice, right? Not too much countdown left. You're closing out. So, Tim, if you can, I know a lot of preparation goes into getting everything set. Talk a little of the need to knows for Manchester graduation coming up this weekend.
Okay. For seniors, they need to be there Friday the 9th at 7:30.
Okay.
And in the morning. And we start with a breakfast, and then we move into the gymnasium and do a walkthrough.
Now, I always question, is a graduation practice necessary?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
You guys have been
it's-
through.
it's
You
part of
guys have been through my
circumstances for a reason.
graduation ceremony. We
Yeah.
always strive for perfection. That's the word of the day. And when it's perfect, we can quit.
Yeah.
And then after they're done, the seniors will get on their regalia and their cap and gowns and be marched through both the elementary and the high school with the
that's
band.
cool. Yeah.
For a little recognition parade by the students, and then we'll come back and we got a big barbecue picnic laid out for them and feed them once more. And
You're getting breakfast, lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
guys
I'm
do it
telling
up
you.
right.
and then we send them on their way. And then the big event is the 10th of May. There on Saturday at 3 p.m. is Manchester commencement.
Okay.
Doors will open to the public at 1:45.
Okay.
The seniors need to be there no later than 2:15 so we can get them all put together. Now, each senior will receive 6 tickets for their family seating on the floor. So we give reserved seating for the seniors, and we have the floor chairs set up. So every senior will get tickets for 6 of their family members. These young ladies already have reserved seating for their family. Since they're speaking, their family will be in the front row. And like I said, we are graduating 61 seniors, and we're looking forward to a great day.
Absolutely.
It's a celebration, and we'll have a lot of fun.
I guess should note the floor seating again would be for senior families, and then you have kind of the rest of the gymnasium.
We have the
for
wing.
general.
We have both home and visitor bleachers opened up, and for the rest of the public to sit in. And we usually have a pretty full house.
Yeah. Ladies, I know we talked off the air. You both had to write a speech, right? You're valedictorian and salutatorian. So, JC, how long did it take to write? Mr. Davis said, I have a deadline. You guys got to get this done. How long did it take to get all of those feelings down on paper?
For me, it was like a month process
Yeah?
from start to finish.
How do you sum up like an entire 13 years worth of stuff you've gone through?
Yeah, well, I have like a certain theme. I'm not gonna like reveal it, or I don't know if it
don't
matters.
ruin
But
it.
yeah, but there's like a certain word that's like me. You get what I'm saying? There's like a certain word, and then after that, it kind of ties into it. It's like but it's also a message to it. There's maybe a little bit of humor in there. I have to sell it. Like I gotta practice this week and like pronounce my words right and get it down. But basically just a theme, and then follow like my key word, and then there's words that add to it, and it makes sense in my head.
Now, how much is this speech class coming back into play? You know, you talked about taking speech at college. Did you use all those tools and
I'm
tricks?
thinking like when I actually get up public speaking, it will.
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully, I'll try
So
to
I'll
like
get a flashback to you
like
then.
not say my words too fast, and yeah, I think when I'm actually saying it, my speech class might come into key.
I think you'll be fine.
Hopefully, yeah.
Maddie, what about for you? Is it a long process? Like I think Mr. Davis said, he told you back in January, start writing this now. I expect it May 1st. So
Yeah.
did you take the entire time span, or was it?
For me, it took me less than a week to get everything down.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Because I feel like I just kept putting it off because I knew what I wanted to talk about because I had a specific thing I wanted to say to people. And there's like a saying that goes with it that like I feel like people hear all the time, especially as like seniors and graduating.
Yeah.
So it didn't take too long. I think after I started writing it, it didn't take long at all to get down.
You excited to like actually get it out in the world? You feel good about it? That's a pretty cool
I feel
thing.
like pretty good about it because it's like a nice message. So like people should be like happy to hear it. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
They both did a good job.
It's
They were
okay.
wonderful
Well, if
speeches.
you're getting the sign of approval, then that's pretty good. Yeah, good deal. Let's talk some memories. You guys just had your senior prom, right? So how did that go for you, Maddie? Let's talk about the dress. How pleased were you?
I loved my dress this
Yeah?
year. It was great. The prom went really well. I got to hang out with basically my friends like all day. So
Yeah.
who doesn't love that, you know?
Absolutely.
And the prom this year, like the actual like event of prom was really good. And the grand march, it was like beautiful. The decorations, they did a really good job setting that up and everything. So yeah,
Awesome.
it was great.
Tell us about your dress.
It was purple. It was corset, and, like rhinestones on the top. Yeah, I wore like silver heels with it.
And a corset. Could you actually breathe and move?
I could breathe and move.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
it
good.
was all right.
Good,
yeah.
good. You didn't set yourself up for misery.
No.
JC, what about for you? What was the dress
I couldn't
like?
breathe as much as
Good
she
number.
could, I guess. But mine was a red strapless dress, and it was sparkly. It had a slit in it. Yeah, I loved it. I really loved my dress this year.
Was it the first dress you tried on, or how many did you go through?
I probably tried on like 5 dresses.
5. That's not bad.
I think it was the first dress I tried on, and I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maddie, first dress or 15th?
Well, I went into that place. I stalked their Instagram account to
Oh,
find
okay.
the dress that I wanted because I knew I wanted purple. It's the second dress I tried on, and I tried 3 overall. On.
Oh,
yeah.
man, you guys are like super simple. That's
know.
great.
Yeah,
Oh
I just
my
knew I
gosh.
knew what I wanted, and I didn't want to be in there forever. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
So the whole experience wasn't it for you. You just wanted to get in, know what you,
Yeah.
you knew what you wanted going
yeah,
in anyways.
yeah.
Okay, I got you. Well, good. Glad you guys had a great prom.
Yes, prom was very fun.
Great.
Other senior things you guys do, like a senior skip day, senior trip, senior prank,
We
senior
did
anything like that.
our own little senior skip day.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was us 2 and then 3 other girls. I don't know if they ended up going into school later that day, but after we got our spray tans for prom, the day before prom, we just went and got some like breakfast, lunch, whatever time.
What day was that?
He's taking
We just
truancy
had our
notes.
own little day.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like our little friend group.
A spray tan day date. That's
It was like a spray tan party the night before.
Okay.
We
The
woke
next
up,
day.
went to breakfast.
man.
Not going to school.
That's pretty cool, actually. I
Yeah.
like that.
It was fun.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. Outside of that, let's talk favorite classes, favorite teachers. Again, you guys have had a long time. You both went to Manchester throughout your entire school career?
Yes.
That's impressive. That's cool. So take us through, like kindergarten up through senior year. Favorite teachers? Anyone you wanna give a shout out to?
For high school, I'll start with high school because, for high school at least, Miss Swingle was great. She was the best, like one of the best teachers that we had.
And that's what class?
Spanish.
Spanish.
Yeah. So she's just like a really lovely lady, and then she had her too. And then for me, at Southern States we had Amy Gardner, and she's great. She taught us anatomy and biology and things like that.
Okay.
Elementary, I feel like all the teachers, they're all really great teachers. I feel like when I was younger, I didn't really necessarily know like what was like. I wouldn't be able to pick a favorite because I was so young, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But I loved them all. They were all great for me.
But-
Every teacher I had.
Looking back now, right now that you're more experienced, a little more mature, you have you can look back fondly on that time.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good. JC, what about for you? Any favorite classes, teachers?
Teachers, also Swango, Amy Gardner, 100%. They were amazing. I would say Mr. Nelson, he was our history freshman year. He was amazing. Mr. Franklin, he was probably my favorite ever. Oh, Mr. Davis.
For junior high school?
Yes.
Same.
Yeah, science, yeah.
And then I'll say like Mrs. Melinda Grooms and Teresa Bly.
Yeah. All right.
Classes, I don't know. I remember 7th grade math was a really fun time.
Yeah.
Were we in the same
7th
class? It was
grade
fun.
math.
It was really funny.
Yeah, it was a really
Okay.
funny class, yeah.
What? Nobody likes math. How did you find?
No.
It wasn't the math.
It wasn't
that was
the math.
Okay, it was the camaraderie then.
Yeah, it was the kids in the class.
People were
I'd say.
crazy.
All
Yeah.
right. Good. So nothing out of hand though.
Of course not.
No.
No.
Very good. Well said. Yeah, good cover. So looking back now, we've gone through favorite classes, favorite memories. Anything that stands out, good stories from your high school years, PG or rated that we can actually tell without Mr. Davis losing his mind on
Only
you.
thing I can't think about anything that's like. I think every day was just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some just good moments, me and her, honestly. We just had some funny days every day. I don't know how to say it.
So, being in a smaller school, smaller class size, I know for you guys, you've talked about like junior, senior year. Maybe you're not in the school as much, but how much did that influence you guys as far as like knowing that you had that kind of community there? A lot of people you grew up with, a lot of people to have that support system around you.
The support at Manchester, I think, is very, very strong. Especially, I think when someone does well, everyone wants to be able to let them know that they've done well. Like, I'll just be walking around as people will like compliment me on different things, and then obviously like for sports, like Manchester always posts something after anything happens. And then also for getting salutatory and for her valedictorian, like we'd go into college classes and like people would tell us like congratulations and stuff like that.
Awesome.
But I think it's because we like to share people's accomplishments like as a school, which I think is really good for support for us.
Absolutely.
I agree with everything she said. Yes, and I like how we're kind of smaller because we all know everyone knows everyone. Yeah, maybe not like some of the new people since we're not there. But
Is that always a good thing, or is there any negative
it's
to
a
that?
good thing.
I
It's always a
like
good
it
thing?
personally,
Yeah,
and like
I
all the
like it.
parents knew each other, so
Yeah.
I like it smaller.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, with that, let's talk plans post high school. Graduation here in just a few days. Hopefully, you guys at least get a little bit of break somewhere in the summer. I know, Maddie, you talked about taking like summer courses, so maybe not so much.
Yeah.
But what are plans after high school, going through your summer and then moving into next year, freshman at college, I assume, for both of you? Yeah. JC, where are you going to go? What are you going to study?
So I actually start May 27th, so I don't get much time.
Very short time.
Yes.
You both are-
But I'm going to Shawnee State University, and I'm majoring in radiologic technology.
okay. So with plans to be a
Radiology technologist.
well, I guess that's true. Yeah, that
Yes,
makes perfect sense.
makes sense. But
What
yeah.
does that do, I guess, is my question.
Yeah, so they're the people usually in hospitals. They're going to do like the X-ray scans, the CT scans, mammograms. I already say that. But my end goal, like what I want to do, is MRIs because I've had MRIs in my life. So that makes I was inspired to do that, like truly. And I remember my mom like last year asking like, JC, what are you going to do? You need to figure it out. And I knew like this is what I'm going to do. So I'm very excited
Well,
for
that's
it.
good.
Yes.
I think it's really tough to make that decision at
I get
17,
that.
18 years old, but
But for me, it's like, yeah.
very cool.
So when I got accepted to Shawnee, I've been really excited.
Absolutely.
Because it's a very competitive program, but and then I also went to Adams County like hospital in Seaman and did like observing hours there. It's part of like the application process, and I got to see like firsthand the radiology jobs, and I was like, yeah, this is it. So
That's great. So you've
Yes.
already got hands-on experience, at least shadowing and
Yeah.
kind of seeing what's what. Being close to home, is that any benefit to you? Or
yeah, and I'm not living there. I'm just gonna drive. It's like an hour from my house, and the drive is it's an hour, but I only go 2 days a week in summer, and then I think fall the same thing, and then I'll start going to hospitals and actually working there. That's part of the program, like clinicals. So yeah, I'm glad I'm just staying home and not going too far.
Yeah, so just stay comfortable.
Yeah,
Good.
but I'm very excited for it.
I'm sure mom and dad are pleased with that too.
Yeah, my mom was like, "You can just stay here; it's fine." So
Maddie, what about for you? I know you talked already about having the opportunity to compete at the next level, which is awesome. So going into track at the college level, talk a little about kind of plans and kind of expectations for yourself and what the school has for you going into that.
So on the track side, I've met a couple people there so far. I was jumping around between the options of a couple different schools that I wanted to go to, but I really locked in on Rio after I went there and I talked to their coach, and some of the girls just even on the team are super sweet and super nice. So so far that's gone well. I really hope, I know once I get there that they'll be able to cut down my times like crazy, because I've seen them do it with people who were freshmen last year that I knew of because I raced them previous years. So that's really good. I know I'll be doing exercise science and business, so I'll double major in that, and then I'll go get my master's degree in one of the two. It just depends on which one I like more.
Yeah.
But that's my plan.
Keeping your options open.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So I think that's really interesting going to Rio, where you're going to be competing with people that you've competed against before. So like, was that a draw to you at all to be like, hey, I'm going to learn from some of the best I know that I've raced against?
Yeah. There was another school I went to that I talked to one of the girls, and she came in and I was like, oh my gosh, I know this girl, like, where have I seen her? And I'm like, I competed against her. And then when I went to Rio, there was even more people that I had competed against. And it kind of is a draw just because I know that they know who I am. And so I already have a connection sort of with them. And then just getting to know them now and seeing what they used to do and what they've progressed to shows me what I can be able to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, best of luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Hopefully at least get some sort of break in the summertime instead of just jumping straight into classes. But I get it. You guys are dedicated, hardworking young ladies, so good on you. Before we get ready to wrap up, Tim, let's just go through some of those need-to-knows again for graduation. That's coming up this weekend, May 10th.
May the 10th.
Yep.
At 3 o'clock is the commencement ceremony. That will be in the Manchester Gymnasium. Doors open to the public at 1:45. Each senior in a class will receive 6 tickets for reserved seating on the floor for their family. And we need seniors to be there at 2:15. We have a crew of teachers that volunteer that come in and make sure they're all put together and look the best they can look when they parade out in front of everyone's. So it's a community venture at the school to make sure that the commencement goes well and the students are prepared and they look their best. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's going to be great as, again, you young ladies have very bright futures ahead of you. So best of luck in everything going forward. So just to close, again, Tim, we kind of opened with talking a little about how special this class is. Obviously, when you've got two young ladies like this representing your classes, your valedictorian, salutatorian, have represented in athletics and academics, and there really is something about a small school that everybody kind of has to step up and do a little bit of everything in that way. Yeah,
I grew up in a small school. I went to White Oak, and there was about 50 in my class, and I loved that aspect of it, that small, tight-knit group, and I've worked in small schools my whole career. And it's a wonderful place, and they're just great kids. And you talk about their work ethic. When I had them in 8th grade, they were my first period class. So I got them back 9th period during our resource and study hall period. And every day it would be these two and Gabby that would come in my class, go straight, because they were in Algebra 1 as 8th graders, go straight back to my lab. They were the only 3 people I'd let back in the lab by themselves because I could trust them, because they were back there working on their math homework and working things out. And
mostly working on your math homework.
I gotta say, I mean, they might have had a little chit chat, but they were driven. I mean, they were had a great work ethic, and you know, I knew they'd be where they were at right now back then, and just involved in everything. I usually have kind of a formal thing where I call them down to the office and tell them, hey, congratulations, you're valedictorian, salutatorian. They're in so many things and away so much. I grabbed them at a pep rally. And I said, Will, come here. I put my arm around their shoulders. I said, congratulations. I said, you're valedictorian, you're salutatorian, and I need your speech by May the 1st. See you later.
Hard to track down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good problem to have, I guess.
But no, just a lot of, the whole class are just a lot of just great kids, hard workers, and will, without a doubt, all be very successful in whatever avenue they choose to go down after they graduate.
Absolutely. So. Well, again, ladies, good luck. Hopefully your speeches go well. It sounds like you guys put a lot of hard work into them, and enjoy your graduation.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. With that, folks, we're going to wrap up for our Senior Salute show here on C103 Good Guys Radio TV. If you've missed any of our past shows, remember you can check those out on demand, goodguysradiotv.com. And, of course, join us. We have several more of these shows throughout the rest of this week and into next here on C103 and Good Guys Radio TV, presented by CMT Components.
Thank you for tuning in. Rewatch this video and many more on demand at goodguysradiotv.com.